All across the Heartland, you'll find farmers and ranchers working with environmental groups to protect everything from wildflowers to wetlands. It's an opportunity to give back to the community. Here in Northern California, that work is a hands-on proposition.
Who is from Mr. Hill's Shasta class? Oh, right on.
These fifth grade students are getting ready for an egg hunt, unlike anything they've ever seen at Easter time.
We call it egg aid. It is rescuing eggs from getting kind of destroyed as we start farming.
The official egg aid, like today with the kids, started maybe 12 years ago when we said, what a great opportunity to be able to show local kids how the environment and farming really can interact with each other, and it can be really positive for both.
The egg aid hunt is taking place on the Lundberg family rice farm near Marysville in Northern California. The young students use noisemakers to flush out mallard ducks that nest in the cover crops planted on the farm after the autumn rice harvest.
The cover crops are a great place for the ducks to want to nest. And so over the years, we thought it's really would be wonderful if we could rescue those eggs and not just mow them down. And so it's been part of our approach is to rescue as many of those eggs as possible.
Good job, baby.
Good job, Georgia.
Woo, that's a nice one.
Working in groups, the school kids search through 15 acres of the Lundberg farm. As the youngsters move through the grasses, they locate 8 mallard nests, saving some 6 duck eggs.
This one here was probably made this morning. This here a couple days before.
It's really rough, and just to say that to be prepared because it's fun, but it's also it takes some really hard work.
I found a nest and there was only 1 egg in it. It made me feel happy because I could still at least find 1, but I was kind of disappointed because there wasn't more.
Look, you guys, we got 11!
But these youngsters aren't the only ones on the hunt for wild duck eggs. The Lundberg field crews will also carry out searches as they move across the farm's 600 acres in their regular daily work.
We would prepare our fields in the spring, and we would have our guys, as they would work each day, they could get off the tractors if they flushed a female duck, and they'd collect the eggs, and then they carry egg cartons with them in the tractors, and they could put the eggs in the cartons.
Over the years, the egg aid effort has grown, including not only school children, but participation by members of the local wild duck egg salvage program and the California Department of Fish and Game.
All right, we saved 3.
But there's more than just a benefit for the birds. This unique search also provides a learning experience for the students.
They learn a lot of lessons. They learn a little bit about hard work. They learn a little bit about the community because we do have a lot of agriculture around here, and some of them don't come into contact with it almost at all.
So it's just a really nice outreach where kids can see this is how you produce food, this is how wildlife interacts with agriculture, and there's things that you can do if you're aware of how things interface together. There's no fences here. The birds fly in, the birds fly out, and we really have a responsibility to be stewards.
Kind of grouping the eggs together. There's 3 different nests here. There's a nest of 3, a nest of 1, and another nest of 3.
Once saved from the fields, the wild duck eggs move to the next step in the animal rescue effort, ending up at one of the federally regulated hatcheries in the region. Patrick Marmon and his wife Terry operate Pacific Valley Ranch near Marysville, where they raise hundreds, sometimes thousands of wild ducks each year.
There we have the birds that'll go out tonight. They'll be on their feet by tonight and ready to go. I leave them in this hatcher for about 12 hours after they hatch.
The ducklings spend about a week in a brooding box. Because they're born without a mother, this allows their bodies to develop the natural oils that protect them while they're swimming. And from there, they spend the next 4 weeks maturing.
She's quacking now.
But before the ducks are released back into the wild, federal law requires that they be banded and their sex recorded.
We've probably banded and released 100,000 birds, or very close to it.
Then, it's back to the Lundberg farm where 200 acres have been set aside as a wildlife habitat.
We like to release them at 5 weeks. They're a week and a half from flying, and they have time to imprint on the habitat we release them in, and most of the hens will come back next year and lay in this very habitat.
The hope is that the ducks will see the protected marshland as home, returning here after migration instead of the rice fields.
And it's showing some really good success because the bands are coming back showing that these birds are integrating into wild populations.
You guys find it? Oh my God. Guys, I think it's in here.
Those taking part see Ag Aid as the kind of cooperative effort that farmers and environmentalists can successfully carry out, bringing with it an activity that also lets youngsters focus on the future.
They learn what's around them. They learn about helping someone outside of themselves. There's some environmental science here too, and so it's a pretty unique opportunity to combine all those things into one.